No, thank you though. I'm gonna put you guys to the side here so that us and people can see your slideshow still, okay? Here so that us and people can see your slideshow still, okay?
Also, when on YouTube, that's
All right, welcome to Willow Lake's UN first ever mock summit. Our guest judges today are Mrs. Prather and Miss Jackie. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our first presenter of the morning, and that's gonna be Miss Anaya Anderson. Come on up. Make sure your mask is up, please. Thank you. All right, Miss Anaya, the floor is yours. I'm gonna get out of your way. This fun. Okay. All right. You ready? Go for it, Charlie. The floor is yours.
Hi. Hi, my name is Anaya Nicole Anderson. Hi, my name is Anaya Nicole Anderson. I'm fighting for Zimbabwe. They don't have that much food. Sometimes people that live in Zimbabwe don't have clean, nutritious food to eat every day. Sometimes they really can't eat. The government will not help them. They won't give them money or food. I believe that the UN needs to give Zimbabwe food and money. This one. Okay. Hunger is causing people to die in Zimbabwe. Hunger is causing people to die in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, there was a flood that causes crops not to grow. People were starving and dying due to lack of food.
You sharing your screen? Sorry, go ahead.
Due to lack of food, there was a farmer who tried to plant food for people that needed it, but some of the people were dying due to lack of nutrients. For that, people in Zimbabwe are trying to feed everyone. They just need more support from their governor. Food is running out in Zimbabwe. Food is running out in Zimbabwe. Nagli, the president of Zimbabwe, said that there is going to be enough food until the election. On the night ride, the leader of Zimbabwe was stopped by the police on the way to the rally, but he got stopped 2 times that week. When the election came around, there was a new president and 64 people were killed. Therefore, people in Zimbabwe are running out of food. The world population is trying to help Zimbabwe. The world population is trying to make sure that they don't suffer in Zimbabwe. People are really trying to help people in Zimbabwe. People are traditionally more generous with helping those in need. You're probably like, how do I know? Because people are donating to help them with food and houses. Therefore, the world population is trying to make sure that they don't suffer in Zimbabwe. People are drinking water that can cause cancer that's not tested. People are drinking water that is not tested. It can cause cancer when not tested. When people get really sick, it's because when they cook with dirty water that's not tested, you are letting bacteria in your body. People are trying to get to the bottom of how people get sick from the water. Therefore, there are cases in the world because neighboring waters is sometimes not tested. There are 10 water brands that are not tested. Therefore, people are drinking water that can cause and give you cancer. You must help Zimbabwe with zero hunger. Help us take care of our planet. Those are all facts about why people in Zimbabwe need money and food. They are suffering while you are just buying food and then eat half of it and throw it. It would be nice if you gave them half of the rest of it. It would have been great. They would have been grateful. I don't think that anyone needs to give Zimbabwe money. I know that they need to give Zimbabwe food and money. Thousands of people die every day from lack of nutrients, food. You shouldn't judge people by it because they are poor or their clothes. They have ways to live their life.
All right, good job, Miss Anaya. Here, do we need a mic? Okay.
We need a mic.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, good job, Miss Anaya. Here we go. Our next person up, good job, Miss Anaya, is Zanaya Williams. Zanaya Williams. Anybody who's making extra noise, can you please keep that to a level 0 while people are presenting? All right. The floor is yours. I'll let you go ahead and take the show.
Bonjour, my name is Zanaya and I'm speaking with you today about hunger in Mali and why it's important. I believe that the UN needs to give its time and money to help with hunger in Mali. These are hungry people in Mali. Now I'm going to tell you a story. When I went to Mali, I went to a restaurant and lots of people were throwing away their food, perfectly good food. And I went to another restaurant and I saw the same thing, but then I realized that Mali had a wasting problem. And it's not just in Mali, it's everywhere. And that food can go to someone that needs it, but instead it goes in a trash can where it's going to end up in a landfill. We need to help with the hunger problem in Mali. Conflict in Mali is contributing to hunger. People in Mali fight with other people, and due to that, they don't have much food. Conflict can cause poverty because people can take their houses. People will die if they don't eat. People die every day from people may not have access to nutritious food, causing them to get ill or maybe even die. People may not have access to food, people die every day from hunger, not eating nutritious food, and malnutrition. There is food insecurity in Mali because of drought. When drought happens, people don't have enough water to grow crops so they can eat. And because of drought, death rate is going up. Please donate to save lives and no longer.
All righty. I'm gonna see King Oriental. You are our next one up. Please be respectful to our presenters. Do you think you need a mic?
No.
Do you think the mic will help? Because we're having a hard time hearing in
No.
person.
Yes.
Okay, so make
I'ma
sure that
speak
you're
loud.
projecting so that we can all hear.
Okay.
Okey-doke. Remember, you gotta hit this button, huh? You gotta move your own, there. Yep. There. Okay.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Okay.
Hi, I'm King, the ambassador of Honduras. Improving nutrition for mothers and children. Improving nutrition for mothers and children is one of the most important things to do. And women and girls, children under 5 are struggling with disabilities and living with HIVs and /AIDS. Women and little girls are not given enough food and attention, and so many are dying. Extreme climate events affected food in Honduras, causing problems for the people. Droughts have wrecked crops and left the people with no food. Floods also have wrecked crops and left people hungry. Extreme climate also has caused migration to other countries. Oh, probably not even the right one. Poverty and having affected Honduras entirely. Nearly 2/3 of Hondurans, or almost 5.5 million people, live in poverty, according to the World Bank. Honduras is the second poorest country in Central America, and one of them 48% of Hondurans live below the poverty line, with 1 in 5 Hondurans living less than $190 per day. Strengthen agriculture development in Honduras to bring people together. Agriculture is top income for poor people in Honduras, providing employment and opportunities. And I believe that the UN needs to give its time and money to help Hondurans with access to safe food. It's time to stop for hunger. Yay.
We're gonna take a little breather. We have 4 minutes until Nara's presentation. And just in case we have parents showing up, I want to make sure that we're kind of sticking to schedule. So I'm gonna give him a minute to get situated here. All right, we're gonna give the floor to Nare. Sorry, we took a minute there to get caught up, so in case parents are watching. All right, Nare, the floor is yours.
Greetings, Willow Lake families and friends. My name is Nare, and I'm talking about the impacts of hunger in Guatemala and how it affects people. Almost half of this region suffers from hunger, chronic or severe, from little boys and girls to grown, and why UN should help out with this problem. Climate difficulties are affecting farming worse, impacting families and individuals. Results of climate difficulties are impacting farmlands, crops, corn, and other foods worse. Surprising long dry seasons have an impact on harvest foods and crops, leading to resources to dry up. Natural disasters, long rain, making farmers poor and pushing families into hunger. Development of children is being impacted due to hunger. Results in the past year, 54,000 children are under 5 are stunting from hunger. An estimate of 50% of vulnerable children are fighting for their lives and living with chronic hunger. Lack of nutrition, obesity, and are making kids suffer from hunger. Consequently, many children are being impacted from hunger, by hunger. The population is migrating due to lack of resources. The threat of famine and the battle for natural resources thus make them migrate to other places. Climate difficulties have affected the way they farm and the lack of resources they need. Irregular rainfall patterns in recent years across Central America dry occurred. A large portion of this region had results of dry, poor harvests, so they need to migrate for finding resources. Inequality has a severe impact with females and hunger. With the highest level of inequality, women are more likely to face poverty than men, and rates of violence against them, facing famine, extreme conflict, and hunger. Women often eat last and least. They have more responsibility in the house, but a smaller amount of food. An estimated 19 million women suffer from severe hunger, and more than 15 million other men. So hunger can also impact females. We should help out with this problem, help prevent starvation.
Nare. All right, nice job, my man. Okay, up next is Oliverio. Oliverio, you ready? All right, my man. Well done, Dr. Oliverio. All
My,
right.
my name is Oliverio and I am the ambassador of El Salvador. How can you buy how can you buy food without no money? Poverty is leading to hunger. The World Bank predicts and the World Bank predicts and
Can I go last? Can I go last?
If you look this way, I got you face that way, okay? Because we can't see your face right now. Makes sense. All right, ready? Go ahead.
of the year 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Millions worldwide were left unemployed and food insecure. Climate change, El Nino, and lack of land or eating threatening agriculture. is at this at all contribute to hunger. Climate change is causing natural disasters to happen more often, frequently destroying land and crops. El Nino causes floods and droughts, which causes the lack of land in order to address zero hunger. We also must look at how culture is in funding being hurt by the destruction of other natural resources. The government fundings world hunger and food inequality. The people are having health issues by due to hunger. Children under 5 years old are affected by stunting, which means that they do not grow or develop properly. Women have or old enough to have babies suffer from anemia. The people are having health issues due to hunger. El Salvador is moving forward in helping hunger. El Salvador is preventing food in El Salvador. The government in El Salvador is have has been give has been giving food for free. The, the country of El Salvador is moving forward in helping hunger.
Good job, my man. All right. Ariel Cruz, come on up. All right, Ariel, I'll get out of your way. The floor is yours. And there you go. Floor is yours, Ariel.
Everyone said the UN needs to use this type of money on vaccines and medicines in Ethiopia. Hello, I'm Ambassador Ringo, and I'm here to talk about the issue of vaccines and medicines in Ethiopia. I'm reading because Ethiopia is extremely spreadful and harmful diseases like AIDS, pneumonia, and diarrhea. Poverty makes it worse, which leads to harmful and spreadable diseases. And also, there are only wait. This and also there are only 1,600 doctors for 83 million people, which isn't enough to make sure everyone's stays healthy. Ted, you were one of the 83 million people that need to get vaccines or get medicine. Would it feel good to stand in the back of a line with 83 million people waiting just for a vaccine or medicine? It would feel terrible, wouldn't it? The amount of doctors that are there to help, that's not even close to how many people need to be attended. Right now, we need to do something. We have to help, even if it's the smallest thing. It's still do something. What does it mean to be healthy? Being healthy means having access to good food, medicine, vaccinations. When one part of your life is unhealthy, sometimes it can affect other parts too. If people aren't getting access to medicine, and then you'll get sick and won't be able to do other things. Being healthy right now means a lot, especially around the COVID-19 crisis. That's all.
Hi, Miss Micaiah. Here we go. Good job, Ariel. All right. The floor is yours. We're a little early on you, but we'll make it. All right. You ready? Yep. Okay, I'm gonna get out of your way. Remember, they're trying to see you on the camera, guys. So when you're moving out of the way, they can't see you.
Hi, my name is Micaiah Flowers, and I'll be speaking about education for all. You guys must help me. Education in Senegal is not a care in the city. The kids are not getting the right education. An 8-year-old girl just got pulled from school to go be a maid. She did not get all the education she needed. Stop this is not fair on how little girls have to get pulled from school to go be a maid. The UN needs to put this to an end with me. If the UN was helping this problem, it would not be a problem. All they care about is their money they're getting. Help me stop this. There is a lack of schools for kids to go to in Senegal. The Senegal education sector is divided into 4 levels, but 2 are more needed. Many schools lack trained professional teachers or not compensated accurately, which leads for not enough teachers for a school. If there are not a lot of school, students will continue to not get an education. They will continue to be educated by their parents. Gender equality still exists in the country of Senegal. Girls can't really go to school because they have to stay home with their mothers and learn how to do housework if they were to get pulled from school and become a maid. Girls get looked at as maids, but they're human just like the men and boys. The rest of the girls don't get treated right in Senegal. It's not fair on how gender equality still exists in the country of Senegal. The kids in Senegal cannot go to school because they have to get supplies to stay alive and healthy. Kids in Senegal cannot also go to school because they have to get stuff to stay alive and not get sick. Until the age of 16, schooling in Senegal will be free for you. Those 14 and under accounting for 41.5% of the total population. That's not good because they have to go to school. I think they need to lower down the food prices so they can go to school more. Transportation in Senegal contributes to not all attending school. Some people in Senegal have cars, but the people that have kids don't really have cars. That is really affecting the children's education. They can't get much money to get a car or pay the bills or put gas in the car. If the kids can't get to and from school, they can't attend school at all. How would you guys feel not being able to go to school and have fun? I know I'll be upset. Just imagine how the girls feel about not going to school. Most kids can't go to school. The UN needs to help this. They need to help this because kids can't go to school. It's not okay. They need to help the kids down in Senegal. We need education for all, not just for certain people. Thank you. Have a nice day. Spread the word. Education for all.
All right, nice job, Micaiah. I'm gonna give us a little bit of a break. So judges, if you just need to look at some of your rubrics here, we're a little ahead of schedule. And I know Michaela has some people coming to watch her. So I'm just gonna mute us until about 11:05. Yes. All right, Michaela, the floor is yours. Go for it, girlie. Oh, yeah, you have to click on the slide.
What's the line?
On the blue part, I know. Here, let me fix that. real quick. It's my done. There you go. Now you're-
Hi, my name is Michaela. I'm the ambassador of China. Women in the western region of China has attempted suicide after entering an arranged marriage. A woman who is 20 years old said she married a man she barely knew last December in exchange for the marriage of her foster brother to her husband's sister. The woman said she was forced to marry the man who was 10 years her senior by her foster brother, who wanted the marriage deal but was too poor to get a wife. Suicide events are becoming more prevalent in China with forced marriage. Mass suicide is occurring due to women swallowing chemical pesticides that have been forced into marriage. Suicide in China accounts about a quarter of suicide worldwide. Young girls getting married at a young age impacts them for the rest of their life. Marriage before the age of 18 is a fundamental violation of human rights. When they are pressured to get married, that means that they are pressured to have a family as well most times. Young girls get married at a young age impacts them and affects them. Women are getting treated unfairly in forced marriages. While there are laws against domestic violence, it is still a major problem with abuse occurring in 33.9% of families. Victims may be scared to contact authorities or go to court due to the idea that such events are family affairs. While the Chinese government has taken steps to curb human trafficking, and marriage brokers and criminal gangs continue to operate to provide brides who are often forced into marriage with Chinese men. Oh, my bad. Having babies is really hard on young women because they don't have the support that they need. In 2017, the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School was helping Chin Women's Society Thailand to conduct a mixed method student in Chiang State and Northern Shang State in Maryland. It also makes it harder for them to make their own choices. Girls who marry at a young age have babies young, said Joby Heyman. Suicide, getting married at a young age, unfair treatment to women, having baby/kids. This all has to do with forced marriage. I believe that the UN needs to give its time and money to help with the problem of forced marriage in China. All right, Willow Lake. We need to help other people understand that forced marriages is not okay. We need to take a stand and help fix it.
We're gonna pass Daniel Martinez. He is absent today. I have two of them that are absent today, which means is not Daniel. The next person is gonna be Arrow. We'll just kind of keep going through even though we have people missing. All right, Arrow, you're next, my man. The floor is yours. I'm gonna get out of your way.
Kia ora. I am Ambassador Arrow of New Zealand.
I want you members of the UN General Assembly to give your time and money to help New Zealand with the problem of protecting ecosystems. Ecosystems need to be protected to strengthen against events that harm ecosystems. When people litter and then when sea animals eat it, they can get sick and it's unhealthy for the ocean. Oil spills can cause deaths, and it also can make the ocean even more unhealthy. Fishing is one of the most significant drivers of declines in ocean wildlife population. Catching fish is not bad for the ocean, but except for when vessels catch fish faster than stocks can replenish. Something named overfishing, and a lot of people do that so it can make sea animals extinct. New Zealand also has dirty river problems. Last year, a government report found nearly 60% of rivers carry pollution above acceptable levels, with 95 to 99% of rivers in pastoral, urban, and non-native forested areas are contaminated. A very high proportion of threatened indigenous species. 90% of all seabirds are threatened. 84% of reptiles, 76% of freshwater fish, and 74% of terrestrial birds are threatened. And this may well be an underestimate. About nearly 4,000 of New Zealand plants and animal species currently in some danger of going defunct. It is imperative that we understand where help is needed most urgently, many of which were introduced by settlers in the late 1800s. Possums, rats, and mustelids such as stoats, weasels, and ferrets pose a significant threat. The ocean needs to be restored in order to have healthy, productive oceans. Only 0.4 is covered by note-taking marine reserves. The climate crisis must also be tackled to protect the ocean from acidification, loss of oxygen, and the devastation of coral reefs. The oceans are critical to all life on Earth. Our oceans are the primary source of protein for 1 in 7 people worldwide. A very high proportion of threatened indigenous species live in New Zealand. Members of the General Assembly, you must give your time and money to help New Zealand with its waste generation problem. You must help us make a change before our waste obliterates our planet.
All right, we're gonna do a little reset here, just really quick. All right, Kaden Sheriff, you have the floor.
Hi, I'm Caden. I'm the ambassador
protecting ecosystems in Mexico. Imagine you were chilling one day in Mexico and you saw trash in the water. Trash in the water and fish dying. That does not sound relaxing to me. Mexico needs the UN time and money to help protect the ecosystems in Mexico. For example, in the water, for example, in the water, the fish have no homes. Acid kills all the fish homes to where they have no homes. Fish are having bad days with no homes to where they have nowhere to live. Fish have to go to other homes and places to live, and they might not have a lot of places. Animals sometimes can't take the cold. Cold can hurt animals real bad, and then they can die because it's too cold. Some animals can't take the cold and might die because of the cold. Fish can't take the cold like other species can. Invading animal homes underwater, bad weather can kill or harm animals that can't take it much longer. Animals are scared because people are fishing with nets and then leaving the nets there, are not leaving fish for the future. And no, animals are made. Yes. Miss Love, hold on that. I messed up. Okay, start over. No. Animals are scared because people are fishing with nets and leaving the nets there. Fish are in the water and people killing them because they're. I'm done. It's done. It's done.
Hi, let's welcome Montserrat. Montserrat, go ahead and get situated and put your paper and stuff where you need it. All right, you're next, girlie. Are your parents showing up? Okay, let's roll with it, and I have it recorded in case they need to see it. Okay. All right, Montserrat. All right, Montserrat, the floor. I think you should be able to hit the arrow now.
I can. And I am Ambassador Mansour of Nigeria. I want to tell you a story. Close your eyes. Imagine that you're living in Nigeria. One day you're walking back home from school with your friends. Then you start to feel like someone is following you and your friends to your house. You start walking home fast. Then you turn around and they grab you and your friends. You start kicking and trying to escape, but they put you and your friends in a white van. Now open your eyes. This is how it feels to be kidnapped. A lot of kids in Nigeria are trafficked and abused, but they have to kidnap them first. It's not only Nigeria, it's also the whole world. I believe that the UN needs to give its time and money to help with the problem of child abuse and trafficking in Nigeria. Kids have to do work like slavery and other things when they are trafficked. Children are forced into labor, slavery, sexual exploitation, and inappropriate acts at some point of their lives in Nigeria. Kids ages 18 and under are forced to marry someone they don't love or don't know. They get married because the traffickers or abusers want money. 12-year-old boys are forced to be soldiers at a young age because traffickers pay the soldiers to teach them. And then when they are in war, they die at a young age when they could live a pretty long life. Therefore, kids still have to do slavery and work on hard things when trafficked in Nigeria. Both girls and boys are victims of abuse and trafficking. They are sold by family members and other people in Nigeria. Girls have to do inappropriate acts that they don't want to do because they're insecure or don't feel safe with themselves. People in Nigeria mostly abuse or traffic kids under ages 18. Then they put them to do inappropriate things or work. Family members sell them because they want money, or they don't want them due to them being pregnant after they're abused or being trafficked. Therefore, girls and boys are still victims of abuse and trafficking and being sold by family members and other people they don't know. People threaten or use kids for things that hurt them. Also for kids who traffic or abuse others in Nigeria. People abuse or traffic kids because they're easy to kidnap when going to school or coming back from school in Nigeria. Kids abuse or traffic others because they want revenge or what people did to them. People hurt kids because they don't follow what the trafficker tells them to do. People treat kids bad because they have to work hard in jobs that are hard. People threaten kids because if they do something the trafficker says not to do, then they're going to kill them or kill their family members. Therefore, people still threaten or harm kids and teach them to traffic or abuse others in Nigeria. 1.2 million of kids are affected by trafficking, 168 million are victims of forced labor, 215 million are victims of engaged in child labor, 115 million are victims of dangerous work, 1.2 million of kids are affected because people look for kids that walk home from school alone. 168 million are victims of forced labor because when people are done trafficking kids, then they put them to do forced labor. 215 million are engaged in child labor because they find kids and do things to them, then they put them to do child labor. 150 million are victims of dangerous work because they work to build things when abused and trafficked. Therefore, these percentages are still rising in Nigeria due to people still abusing or trafficking kids. Nigeria has a problem with child abuse and trafficking. We have a problem with putting kids to work in hard things, not only when trafficked, but when abused. Percentages are rising in Nigeria and the world of kids affected or victims of abuse and trafficking. We need to stop threatening or hurting kids when trafficked or abused and making them do inappropriate acts that they don't want to do. Members of the UN, you must give your time and money to help Nigeria with child abuse and trafficking problem. You must help us stop abuse and trafficking in Nigeria and all the world.
Good job. All right. Zaya is absent today, so we're gonna go past her. Ooh, okay, this is where it's gonna get fun. Benjamin, we're gonna have to figure out, I'm going to unmute you. Benjamin, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna stop screen sharing and you should be able to screen share, my man. Let me fix it to where you can. This is where it's gonna get fun. All right, Benjamin, go ahead and try and screen share now, hon.
Wait, so what am I supposed to do?
Remember, you have your presentation, you're screen sharing on your end. I have your presentation if you need me to, if that's easier. But I figured this way you can screen share and turn your camera on just as if you were here in class.
All right.
All right, so try and screen share. I think I fixed it already for you. Maybe. Cool, there we go, Benjamin. All right, go ahead and turn your camera on so we can see you as if, like, just if you were here. There you go. All right, you ready, Benjamin? Yeah? Okay, the floor is yours, my man. You're muted, honey.
Invasive species in Cuba. Now, I want you to close your eyes just for a moment. Now, imagine this. One day, you're trying to buy some fish from the market, but then you remember that there's a food shortage because of invasive species eating your food. This is what happens in Cuba because there are invasive species there. I believe that the UN needs to give time and money to help with the problem of invasive species in Cuba.
Reason 1. The invasive species are very dangerous. Claria is a type of catfish, and people claim it eats anything in its path if left wild. It could finish with all remaining animals in Cuba. Cuba is currently breeding Claria because of their food shortage, but if let out, could be a major disaster. Crab-eating macaques, I think, are monkeys and invasive species, and they like to be in groups called social groups. We can assume that they also hunt together because they all travel together too. In a few years, with rapid breeding and more hunting, Cuba would be in a worse situation than right now. Second reason, the rest of the world can help. Neighboring countries can fund or send supplies to help remove the invasive species. A lot of countries like the United States has a lot of money to help and buy supplies for Cuba. The United States could buy homes, food, and necessary supplies. Third reason is that it will help Cuba with their food shortage. Invasive species is a reason why Cuba is in a food shortage, because the invasive species eats the food that people need. It's stated that each year in Cuba, 11 million people starve because there is either no food or they don't have money. And last reason is that Cuban citizens will be safe. Most citizens won't have to live in fear if the invasive species are eliminated for good. The citizens can now only focus on their food shortage and nothing else. So in general, we should help Cuba so that Cuba can recover from invasive species attacks. If we do that, then we could solve their food shortage problem. Doing that will also help with the citizens' emotions and the rest of the world will be able to help, except the people who help Cuba already. I believe that we should help Cuba with invasive species quickly. So to get attention about this topic, we should reach out on all social media and different platforms.
Good job, Benjamin. All right, up next in our presentations, I believe it's Mackenzie, which is perfect because Mackenzie, you're virtual. So you want to do the same thing as Benjamin so we can see your face as you're presenting? Mackenzie Johnson. Yeah, does that work? You should be able to screen share, Mackenzie. All right, girly. There you go. Oh, make sure you turn your camera on so we can see your face.
Miss Lucky, it won't let me turn on my camera.
Let's see if I can fix that real quick. We'll let you do it now. It'll work? Awesome. Okay.
Child forced marriages in Russia. In my country, men are forcing young girls to marry into an unhappy and toxic marriage. Age is just a number to Russia. They let men marry girls 3 times younger than them. Girls can be as young as 14 to get married in Russia. More and more teens are being forced into marriage to old men against their will. Therefore, Russia doesn't care about the age or the guy, or the age the girl or the guy is. Women are committing suicide and drinking due to forced marriage. Russia level of alcohol consumptions and suicide rates are among the highest in the world because they are forced into marriage. Women are escaping marriage through suicide. 1.8 million girls are diagnosed with depression, and 100,000 of them are committing suicide every year. Therefore, women are committing suicide and drinking to take the pain away of being forced into marriage.
Can you hear? Hey, Mackenzie, we can't hear. Is there a way you can speak up? You can louder? Oh, they can't see you. Sorry. They can see me instead of her, even though I pinned her. Sorry, I pinned her. Oh, have you screen? It says we're viewing her screen.
Right, but when she needs to turn her video on.
Is her video's on for us. Not over
Oh,
for
it's
you
on for
guys.
you?
Uh-oh, not for the YouTube live. Appropriate. Mackenzie, we can't see your face really. If you can kind of like, I don't know. There you go, girly. And I can't hear you that well. All right, we're just trying to logistically get things set up here. Uh-oh, they can't see you. Remove him. Showing Benjamin.
Oh, him, I don't know.
So, hold on, Mackenzie. Let's get it figured out, girly. So if I spotlight
Pin.
or pin, that's what I was doing. Does it work? Should I
Isn't
try
that weird?
spotlight? Wait, sorry, Mackenzie. Let me try spotlight, or will
Yeah.
I make it big?
Try spotlight. That's fine. Continue.
Now can we see it?
Well,
Oh, it's a little later.
delayed. It's delayed, so it may take a minute.
Sorry, Mackenzie. Hold up.
Sorry, I figured.
No, you're good.
Sticks.
Yeah.
It's still delayed. We haven't gotten to the part where we switched it.
Well, that'll
Oh,
happen.
there I am.
Uh-oh. I
Fine.
don't know why it's not.
Hold on, I'm listening to us.
Oh, okay.
Spotlight. Can you just try spotlight? There, spotlight worked.
Okay, awesome,
But we
Mackenzie.
but we can't, yeah, we can't.
So make
But
sure you
now-
scooch that camera down. Do you mind restarting? Sorry, so we can hear you. I don't know if everyone else can hear you. Oh, perfect. They can hear you good. We just couldn't see your face. All right, girly. All right, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Child forced marriage in Russia. In my country, men are forcing young girls to marry into a happy and toxic marriage. Age is just a number in Russia. They let men marry girls 3 times younger than them. Girls can be as young as 14 to get married in Russia. More and more teens are being forced to get married to old men against their will. Therefore, Russia does not care about the age the girl or guy is. Women are committing suicide and drinking due to forced marriage in Russia. Russia level of alcohol consumptions and suicide rates are among the highest in the world because they are forced into marriage. Women are escaping marriage through suicide. 1.8 million girls are diagnosed with depression, and 100,000 of them are committing suicide every year. Therefore, women are really committing suicide and drinking to take the pain away from being forced into marriage. Russia does not care about the woman's feelings in the marriage. And there was a 17-year-old girl, and the man was either in his late 40s or his early 50s and forced her to marry him. There was another child who was 14 years old and forced to marry a 50-year-old man because he had money, and her family forced her to marry him. Russia made it legal for 14-year-olds to get married. It's believed that's when the men start taking advantage of the girls. Therefore, Russia does not care about the women's feelings in the marriage. Russia plans to stop it, but currently they don't have any plans. Russia claims they aim to enforce marriage by 2030, but why not 2021? Girls are again drinking chemicals and committing suicide due to Russia not trying hard enough to stop forced marriage. Therefore, Russia needs to stop child forced marriages before suicide rates go up. Russia needs you need to help Russia with forced marriage. You need to help us stop forced marriage and save these girls.
All right. We are going to go back to, so we just said Mackenzie. Nice job, Mackenzie. All right, Amaya, you ready, honey? You're up next, girly. We're kind of right in there on time, so we're moving at a good pace. All right, I'm going to give you the floor.
Hi, I'm Amaya, and I'm going to tell you about overfishing and why it's a problem in the world. In Brazil, overfishing is a big problem because fish are already close to extinction, and that means many fish could die, and that can take 50% of Brazil's oxygen. That's okay. We and Brazilians need oxygen to live. I think if the UN takes more time and interest in solving this problem, we can save many fish in some cases. So fish could be going extinct right now, and no one would even stop to realize that we need the fishes. People have been fishing for thousands of years to feed their families and local communities. Today, however,
It's not there at all.
Uh-oh. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Let me pin you. Let's see if pinning works. You there? No, let her check. Sorry. We're good? Okay, sorry, Mike. Go ahead. Oh, you gotta click on the page.
people have been fishing for thousands of years to feed their families and local communities. Today, however, many fish are in danger of going extinct, which means these fish could disappear forever. If all fish disappear, that can also be dangerous for humans because the fish clean the water. Without the fish clean the water, it will stay dirty and no one wants to swim in dirty water. Not right now, but in the long run, let's say half the fish have gone extinct and the oceans are dying. That can be really dangerous. You may be wondering why it's so important that we keep oceans alive. Well, that's because we need them. The ocean produces over half of the world's oxygen, absorbs 50 times more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere. Climate regulations covering 70% of the Earth's surface, which means half the oxygen we breathe comes from the ocean. Not right now. And so losing the ocean or letting it die can kill the community. Fishes eat fishes, so having a population of fish go extinct can mess up the food chain, which can put all fish in risk of dying. Getting fishing to a sustainable level means fishing on a responsible level. It kills for fewer fish and keeps the fishing population at a healthy level. If the world's fishers switch to sustainable fishing, there will be enough fish in our waters. Overfishing is a removal of species of the fish from the body of the water the race species cannot replenish, resulting in those species becoming unpopulated in that area. I think that if we stop overfishing, get it to a sustainable level. The reason why I think it's important is that we get it there because new ways of fishing have been shrinking the fish population over the world. Fishers remove more than 170 billion pounds of fish and shellfish from the sea each year. If they continue to fish as they do now, they may soon wipe out all fish in the ocean will die. If scientists say, I think it's serious that we try our best to get fishing to a sustainable level.
A little bit ahead. All right, Stefan, you're up next. Let's go ahead and grab everything out that you need. Yep. All right, the floor is yours. We're gonna hit that.
Okay. Salma, I am Ambassador Stefan of Madagascar. Do you know that 1.35 million people in southern Madagascar suffer from hunger? I want you members of the General Assembly to give your time and money to help Madagascar with the problem of hunger. Climate change is a natural disaster causing food insecurity and leading Madagascar population in poverty. In Madagascar, no, that's not it. Okay, and 80% of the population is engaged in agriculture. However, natural disasters like cyclones, tropical storms, flooding, and droughts occur, increasing food loss. The country's population is living below the poverty line. Some villages have exceeded the emergency line for hunger. There is an organization called Action Against Hunger. Action Against Hunger works in Madagascar, focuses on an approach to ending malnutrition. Their mission is to help people survive and build strength against worsening poverty. Okay. The health of the children is also suffering with malnutrition in Madagascar. Stunting occurs when a child grows up to be too small for his or her age due to lack of necessary nutrients in infancy. Infancy is a critical stage of development, and if a child is not properly nutritioned, Madagascar in many forms to combat malnutrition. So far, they have reached. So far, they have reached 650,000 of the 850,000 people living with food insecurity. Help Madagascar with this hunger. That's why I want you of the UN General Assembly to give your time and money to help Madagascar with the problem of hunger. We need to take action in Madagascar.
Good job, Stefan. Now we're going to welcome up Leah Turner. Come on up, girlie. You were just out there. No, have a seat. All right, you ready? Make sure they can see you. All right, it's your turn, Miss Leah. There you go, girlie. Good job. Proud of you. All right, the floor is yours. Make sure we can hear you. Leah, you're fine. You're good.
My name is I'll talk about overfishing in Australia. We continue to overfish at this rate. Not only will it affect the oceans, but us too. Climate change is unequal distribution of nutrients, and people overfishing causes poverty and lack of food. No food makes a bad environment. I lost what I was reading.
Start right here. We just can't hear you. Let me go back. Here you go. Right here.
I believe that the UN should give its time and money to prevent overfishing in Australia. We continue to overfish at this rate. Not only will it affect the oceans, but us too. Climate change, which leads to unequal distribution of nutrients,
People overfishing causes poverty and lack of food. No food makes a bad environment for the earth and ocean, and taking more fish makes it worse. The earth is getting worse because of people going too far in the water. If you go in the water, you can hurt yourself, but also any other animals. We kill innocent fishermen to we take them out of the water from the thing. The more fish we kill, the worse it's gonna get. It's gonna get so bad that the ocean is gonna get dark and we can't fish anymore. Going in the water is not only killing the fish but yourself, because if you go too deep, you could get something worse. Humans affect the water and ocean. We take out the fish from the reefs and we make the ocean a bad place. We take out all of the innocent fish and kill them. The further we get into this, the worse it's gonna get. Soon we have no fish in the ocean to get and some people will starve. We need to make a change in the situation. The government is also involved in this because they know the people overfishing, but they don't care. Some people get washed out overfishing and shared on social medias. The governments are doing violent jobs by letting people overfish. The governments are ruining the earth and the environment. They don't realize that the government is supposed to take the place, but instead they're making it worse. Alright, but it's time to make people understand what fishing is and why do we need to fix it. We're done.
Prince, you ready? Okay, only this one time. All right, Miss Julia. All right, Prince Mitchell. It's Prince and then Gabriel, and then we are done for the day. So hang in there. We have some nice Miss Lucky's class. Everyone can hear us at home, so let's be respectful to our presenters. All right, Prince, you ready? Here's your arrow. You got it. You ready?
All right, who's been so long? All right,
You got this.
hi. My name is Prince, and I'm here to talk about Congo's clean water and sanitation problem. Could you imagine walking 2 miles just to get dirty water to drink while we have the ability to just walk downstairs and get a clean water bottle? That's why I believe that the UN needs to give its time and money to help with clean water in Congo. The Congo people said there is bad stuff in the water known as bacteria, malnutrition, and diarrhea. Congo has a lack of access to clean water, has lack of funds to a water pipe system. Some producers think of only people. That's why we should donate to help kids and people in Congo with their dirty water problem. This leads them to continue to pump from rusty old pipes. This results in the people of Congo becoming ill with several diseases. The lack of clean water, the dirty water is not safe. Increased to malnutrition due to the unsafe water. But Congo has some solutions. I guess that's good. One, some 100,042 people are estimated to die each year due to unsafe water. 361,000, 1,000 children die under the age of 5 due to malnutrition. This is why you must help Congo with our dirty water problem. And this is why I believe that the UN needs to give its time and money to help with clean water and sanitation in Congo.
You got this. You got this. All right. Last but definitely not least for today, Gabriel. You got it?
Yeah.
You just need to hit this arrow, honey. Okay. All right.
Okay.
You're respectful.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. I'm Ambassador Kenya. Hi, I'm Gabriel, and I'm the Ambassador of Kenya. Mine is deforestation in Kenya. The widespread destruction of the Kenya. The widespread destruction of the Kenyan forests is due to de facto extension. Christian Lambert is a member of Kenya Forestry Working Group, so iron this is as true of wooded areas and grasslands. Regan as it is of forestry. I believe that the union needs to give its farming money to help with the problem of the deforestation. Deforestation has been an issue for many years. Tropical forests are harmful species are becoming extinct due to deforestation. You're on the computer. You gotta speak up, buddy. I believe that the union needs to give its time and money to help with the problem of deforestation. Deforestation has been an issue for many years. Tropical forests are in harm's way. Special species are becoming extinct due to deforestation. One cause of deforestation are standing, logging, and tree extraction. These are some reasons why deforestation still exists today. Really, is there a single direct cause for deforestation? Mostly often be multiple process work to cause deforestation. The single biggest direct cause of tropical deforestation is conversion to cropland and pasture. Mostly for which is growing crops and raising livestock to meet daily needs. The conversion then usually results from multiple direct factors. For example, countries build roads into remote areas to improve overland transportation of goods. The road development causes a limited amount of deforestation, but roads also provide entry to previously inaccessible and often inclined land. Logging, both legal and illegal, often follows expansion. In some cases, is the reason for the road. When loggers have harvested in areas valuable timber, they move on the road and log areas become a magnet. Okay. Deforestation can lead us to direct loss of wildlife habitat, as well as general degradation of their habitat. The removal of trees and other types of vegetables reduces available food and shelter and breeding habitat. Animals may not be able to find shelter, water, and food to survive within remaining habitat. Typical forests, trees, like all green plants, taking carbon dioxide and release oxygen during once trees are cut down. This was about the cause of deforestation for what it does to Kenya and the effects of Kenya. I believe that the effects for Kenya. I believe that the United States needs to give its time and money to help with the crime of deforestation in Kenya. Okay, then like it's time to take for being self the cause of deforestation for what to get it. Yeah.
All right, we have all of our people. We had some people absent. We had some people absent for UN Mock Summit today. And we had a couple individuals that were behind a little bit. So that is going to end our first ever UN Mock Summit. Please tune in tomorrow to see our finalists that make it out into the overall 5th grade UN Mock Summit. Remember, there is a URL code and, excuse me, the little scanner. You can hover your phone over it. It'll take you right to our page. Please be sure to tune in. Thank you for everyone showing